ever started a personal project and realized it was taking way longer than expected? Whether it's writing a research paper, preparing for a big presentation, or organizing an event, time estimation is crucial for staying on track. And if you're tackling a larger, more complex project, having the right estimation strategies becomes even more important. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, I'm Dr. Katie Linder, a certified project manager, change manager, and coach who works full-time leading and supporting teams in higher education. On this channel, I offer real-world examples of how project management translates into the higher ed environment. If you're looking for ways to use project management tools and skills, both professionally and personally, to bring more ease to your work and life, you're in the right place. Proper time estimation is key to managing your workload effectively. Without it, you risk feeling overwhelmed, missing deadlines, or losing motivation. Estimating time properly helps with 4 main areas: staying on schedule, ensuring that you complete tasks efficiently, reducing procrastination, giving yourself clear deadlines to work toward, managing energy levels, balancing workload to prevent burnout, and tracking progress, providing a roadmap for how long a project should take. However, knowing the benefits of time estimation is not the same thing as knowing how to do it. When I work with coaching clients on their project management skills, time estimation is one of the things that they consistently say is hard for them to do effectively. So let's break down the steps for time estimation. First, you'll want to break down your project into smaller tasks. Instead of estimating an entire project at once, divide it into smaller, manageable parts. This makes estimations more precise and less overwhelming. You might think of small tasks as taking 15 minutes or less, medium tasks as taking 15 minutes to 1 hour, and then larger tasks as anything that takes more than 1 hour to complete. For larger tasks, see if you can break them down further into small and medium-sized chunks. When breaking down your project into smaller tasks, you can use historical data. You might think back to similar projects you've done before to remember how long a certain task took you to complete. You can also assign a task a range of time to complete if you aren't sure how long it will take. If you use this approach, make sure the upper range of the time you think it will take to complete is generous. As you estimate time for tasks, you'll also want to consider your work habits. If you know you tend to work better in short bursts, you can break down your tasks into small pieces to schedule them accordingly. If you focus better for long periods, plan longer work sessions that might batch certain kinds of tasks together. One important trick for your time estimation is to always add buffer time. You can always expect the unexpected with distractions or difficulties that could arise. For really important tasks, or tasks that feel more unknown in terms of time estimation, add an extra 10 to 20% to your estimated time. Tracking your time is another approach to gauging the time that tasks take more effectively. You can use a time tracking tool or manually record how long different tasks take to improve future estimates. And of course, you'll want to reassess and adjust as needed. Remember to be flexible. If something is taking longer than expected, you can adjust your timeline accordingly. Let's look at a real-world example of writing a research paper. Instead of estimating, this will take 2 weeks. Try to break your task down into hours. Even half a day might be too broad. Does that mean 3 hours, 4 hours, or 5 hours to complete a task? You might know that outlining your paper typically takes you 2 hours to do. Separating that outline into sections might give you smaller tasks to fit into your busy schedule if you don't have a 2-hour block available to complete the task. The writing of your draft would also be broken down. You might assign more time to a literature review that would require more reading and analysis, and less time to writing up the results of your study, since that might be more straightforward. By taking the approach of breaking tasks down into hours and minutes, you can create a structured plan that keeps you accountable and ensures steady progress. These tasks can also be added directly into your calendar or be assigned specific deadlines so you can ensure that your project is staying on track. Now let's talk about estimating time for larger, more complex projects. When dealing with large-scale projects, such as launching a campus-wide initiative, writing a collaborative grant, or organizing a conference, time estimation can become even more critical since there are often multiple teams and other people involved. Here are some key strategies for time estimation for more complex projects. First, involve multiple stakeholders. Complex projects require input from multiple team members, so you'll want to gather insights from others on what they consider to be realistic timelines. You can also use the 3-point estimation method. This is when you estimate time using 3 scenarios: optimistic or best case scenario, pessimistic or worst case scenario, and most likely or your realistic estimate based on past data. Using these 3 estimations, you can take the average to get a balanced estimate. Similar to the work breakdown on your individual project, it can help if you break down a more complex project into phases. Large projects should be segmented into milestones or phases, each with its own timeline and set of tasks that are broken out in more detail. And similar to your individual projects, you'll want to regularly review and adapt your timelines for more complex projects as well. You can start by setting regular check-ins to adjust timelines as needed based on progress and unforeseen challenges that might come up. You'll want to make sure you communicate these timeline adjustments to other people you're working with on the project so that everyone stays on the same page. In any size project, as you're estimating your time for tasks, make sure that you're thinking through the complexity of each task. Some tasks might seem straightforward, but require more time due to other dependencies. For example, you might plan to write up a method section for your paper, but realize you need to research something further before that piece can be completed. That might add more time to your writing task. Mastering time estimation is an ongoing practice that can definitely improve your project efficiency and reduce stress. By breaking tasks down using historical data, consulting with your team, and allowing for buffer time, you can set more realistic project timelines overall. Have you ever struggled with estimating project timelines? Share your experiences in the comments below. What strategies have worked for you? Where have you found time estimation to be the most difficult? And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more project management tools and approaches that you can immediately implement into your life and work. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.